Playing with Power MTG. Powerful cards, powerful formats. Have you ever searched for yourself on Google? Even for someone like me who considers themselves fairly tech savvy, the results were eye-opening. It was astonishing to find my address, phone number, political leanings, and even the names of my relatives readily available. Data brokers are capitalizing on this information, profiting by selling it to robocallers, spammers, and others with an interest in knowing more about you, like where you live. That is where Aura, today's sponsor, steps in. Aura specializes in identifying data brokers that are exposing your personal information and can facilitate opt-out requests on your behalf. While brokers are legally obligated to remove your information upon request, they often make the process incredibly challenging. Aura simplifies this for you by handling all of the necessary steps. But their services extend far beyond that. From credit card and bank monitoring to family and home security, as well as online protection and dark web surveillance, Aura offers a comprehensive suite of safeguards. Additionally, they provide features like parental controls, antivirus software, VPN services, password management, identity theft insurance, and even home title monitoring. By consolidating these features into one platform, Aura streamlines the process, sparing you the need to juggle multiple apps. Let Aura take on the responsibility of safeguarding your online presence, allowing you to focus on the other aspects of your life with peace of mind. You can either let people continue to exploit and profit off of your private information, or you can go to aura.com/mtg to get protected. They have a 2-week free trial, so it costs you nothing to try out. Check out the links in the description below.
Hi everyone, this is Zach, here playing against Zach. I am playing Mono White Hammer Time. This deck is all about equipment and trying to get like a Stoneforge Mystic into play to then cheat out giant equipment, and then also trying to cheat equipment costs for like Colossus Hammer and just hit somebody with a really massive creature.
All right, Zach or Disco Breaker here.
I am playing Hardened Scales. It is a deck that is focused around utilizing effects like Hardened Scales to grow insanely large creatures and then use Walking Ballista or Inkmoth Nexus to win the game.
I'm going to start off by playing a Plains. I will tap it, cast an Esper Sentinel. I'm going to cast an Ornithopter, and then follow it up with a Paradise Mantle.
Eesh.
And I'll pass the turn.
Alright, untap, keep, and draw. Play a Grove of the Burning Willows. Have you gain a life to float a green creature to 21, and I'll cast a Hardened Scales.
Trigger Esper Sentinel.
Which I cannot pay for, and you will draw.
Woo, drawing a card.
I will pass to you and hope I'm not just dead.
I'll untap, upkeep, draw. I'm gonna play an Urza Saga. It'll come in and have its first doohickey counter thing. It's a technical term.
Yes, indeed. The doohickeys, the doodads.
I'll pay 1 to equip Paradise Mantle onto Ornithopter. Tap it for a white, cast a Stoneforge Mystic.
That's in there like swimwear, as Ryan would say.
Alright, enters, like to search. I think I was gonna get the Cauldron Complete.
Yep.
I called it the Complete. Then I'd like to move to combat and swing at you for 1.
I'm at 19.
Got him. I'll pass the turn.
Untap, upkeep, and draw. I too will play an Urza Saga. Trigger, it will get its first chapter marker. Cast a Zabaz the Glimmer Wasp.
Zabaz, he has arrived.
You will enter with 2 counters thanks to Hardened Scales. I will then tap this for colorless. I'll cast another Zabaz. This one will enter with 2 counters. The legend roll will happen. I will lose the one I just cast. It will modular trigger. It will attempt to move the 2 counters over to this one. It will move over as 3 counters going up to... it actually gets another one because of Zabaz's ability, so it'll be 4 counters moved over up to 6.
Oh geez. Okay.
So we got a 6/6, and then I'll pass the turn.
Okay, untap, upkeep, draw. First main phase, Saga will trigger and get its second counter. Alright, yeah, I guess we're just activating Stoneforge. I've got this Cauldron.
That is annoying.
Get a Germ token to auto-equip too. And I would like to move to combat.
Yep.
Yeah, so we'll do the attack.
I will declare no blocks. I will take the 5, get a 14.
I'm just gonna pass a turn after that.
Untap, upkeep, draw for turn. Chapter trigger. This will go to chapter 2. I'll play an Inkmoth Nexus as my land for turn. I will swing with a 6/6.
I will declare no blocks.
Alright.
I take 6.
In my second main, I'll cast an Earthbound Ravager. Ravager will enter with 2 counters on it because of Hardened Scales, and then I will pass the turn.
Untap. Upkeep. Draw something amazing. Saga triggers. Float a colorless, and I'll sacrifice it. Get a search.
Yep, do the thing.
I'll get a Colossus Hammer into play.
Get the Pure Steel Paladin coming in.
It's close to a Pure Steel. It's a Forge anew. Alright, I'd like to move to combat. I'm going to attack you with all of my creatures.
I will block the Cauldron token with the Archbound Ravager, or I'm just dead. So yeah, I'll declare that as the block, and then you have priority in blocks before damage.
Yeah, I think I want to do this now then. So I'm going to activate Forge anew and equip my Esper Sentinel.
And now I have to respond or I die. So I will activate Arcbound Ravager, sacking Zabaz. So Zabaz dies. There's a modular ability on the stack that moves 6 counters over to Ravager. It will move 7 over because of Hardened Scales. So this will go to 9. And then Arcbound Ravager's ability to resolve, it will get a counter. It will get 2 because of Hardened Scales. It will go to 11. And then before damage, I'm going to tap Grove to animate Inkmoth Nexus. And then I'm good to go to first strike damage where... how does that thing read?
When this creature deals combat damage to a creature, exile that creature. So I think it gets exiled instead of dying.
Yes. Oh, that's right.
So you won't get the modular trigger.
And it does have trample. Yeah, I'm just dead if I sack it. So yeah, I guess I will lose those. I forgot that it exiles and not destroys. Yep.
It's got a lot of text on it.
Unneeded amount of text, one might say.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's the thing. Okay, and then I take
12 damage
12.
then?
Yeah, 12 go to 2.
Alright, pass.
Tap, upkeep, draw. This will go to 3rd chapter. I'll float a mana. Yeah, I'll get the Zabaz. Zabaz enters with 2 counters. Play land for turn. Use Beseiju. Soul Cauldron.
Esper Sentinel trigger, pay 11?
Yeah, you can draw away.
Okay, I'll draw.
Tap Cauldron. Eat Zabaz. This will put a counter on Zabaz. This goes up to 4. Pass to my death. We'll make this bigger.
Play a Plains, and yeah, I guess I just moved to combat.
Yeah, do your punches.
I'll attack with everything again.
I will declare no blocks and die. We'll kick things off with a Forest into Hardened Scales. I will pass the turn.
I will draw. Play an Urza Saga. It'll get its first counter. And I'll cast a Springleaf Drum and pass.
Alright, untap, keep, and draw. I will play an Inkmoth Nexus as my land for turn, and then I will cast a Patchwork Automaton. And then I will ship it on over to you.
Alright, I will draw. First main phase, get a counter on my Saga. Play a Plains as my land for turn. Tap 2 and cast a Stoneforge Mystic. I'm going to get a Colossus Hammer.
Okay.
And then I'm going to tap this through Springleaf Drum for a white and cast Esper Sentinel.
You got it.
And I'll pass the turn.
Tap, upkeep, draw for turn. I will play a Grove of the Burn Willows as my land for turn. I will cast Zabaz that will trigger the Patchwork Automaton. You will get a counter. It will be 2 counters because of Hardened Scales. Zabaz resolves. You will enter with an additional counter with the Hardened Scales. I will then tap for green colorless. I will cast a Hangerback Walker for X's 1. I will trigger the Automaton. It will get an additional counter. Hangerback will enter with an additional counter. And then would like to go to combats. Swing with a 5/5 patchwork.
All right, I got a 15.
I will then pass the turn.
Draw for my turn. First main phase, I'm going to have a Saga trigger. Yeah, I'll float a colorless and sacrifice it. I'm going to find a Shadow Spear. I'm going to play a Plains as my land for turn. Equip Shadow Spear to Esper Sentinel. Use this Plains here. I'm going to cast a Sigarda's Aid. And then I would like to move to combat. 2/2, trample, lifelink, Esper Sentinel.
I will declare no blocks.
Yeah, before damage, flash in this Colossus Hammer. Sigarda's Aid will trigger. Just slap it onto this Esper Sentinel.
I will take 12, go to 8. You will gain 12, go to 27.
Alright, that's all I got.
Draw for turn. Play a Pendelhaven. My land for turn. I think we're just gonna play to not lose, or play to win here. Activate the Inkmoth Nexus. I will activate Pendelhaven's ability targeting Inkmoth Nexus to give it +1/+2. So Zabaz will die. Its modular trigger will go on the stack. It will place the counters onto Inkmoth. It will move over as 3. I'll then go to combat and swing 5 Infect in the air.
Yeah, I take it.
I will then pass the turn.
Draw. Yeah, I'll move to combat. Coming in there with the big boy.
Yeah. I will put both creatures in front of it.
Okay, you block anything before damage.
Nope.
Alright, damage happens.
Both of these will die. 4, 5, 6, 7. 5 tramples over, I get a 3. And then I have a Hangerback Walker trigger that died with 2 counters, so I will make 2 Thopters.
Alright, second main phase, I'm gonna play an Inkmoth Nexus.
That's gross. I think that sufficiently kills me.
Hopefully. I'll pass the turn.
Alright, I will untap. That Inkmoth is super annoying. Alright, we are on cycle Ozolith the Shattered Spire and Prey. I am just dead, but I will go through the motions. I'll animate the Inkmoth. I'll go to combat and swing with the Inkmoth.
Okay, before blockers are declared, I'd like to activate my Inkmoth Nexus, animate it, and then block.
Yep. So this will actually lose a counter and damage happens. Yeah, and then I'll pass the turn.
Draw. I'll go to combat and swing with a 12/12.
You got it. I die. Alright, here's sideboarding for the post-board games. Taking out the 4 Patchwork Automaton and the 3 Welding Jar. Welding Jar doesn't really do anything in this matchup, and without the consistent load drops to feed into Patchwork, it's not as good. It's also pretty easy to chump, pretty slow as a clock. Bringing in the Pithing Needle, there's a bunch of activated abilities to name, really good in this matchup. 2 Dismember, 2 Nature's Claim, and 2 Haywire Might, just various pieces of spot removal for all different types of targets in this matchup.
Zach here, I'm bringing in a Pithing Needle and 4 Solitudes. Pithing Needle is just a great silver bullet to tutor off of with Urza Saga. He has a lot of activated abilities. Solitude, just a way to interact with his creatures. It's a creature-based combo deck, so having Solitude seems awesome. The cards I'm taking out are 2 Surge Salvation, 2 Forge Anew, and a Paradise Mantle. That's what I'm going to go with, and we'll see how it works.
We will kick things off with a Frag Crown Pathway checklist card. I will cast a Zabaz, who will enter with just 1 lonely counter, and then I'll pass the turn.
Draw. Inkmoth Nexus is my land for turn. Cast a Springleaf Drum. I'll cast this beautiful Ornithopter that I ripped off the top. Yeah, I'm just going to follow it up with a Esper Sentinel. I'll pass the turn.
Untap. Keep. Draw. I'll play an Urza Saga as my land for turn. I'll cast an Arcbound Ravager. Pass the turn.
Untap. Upkeep. Draw. Cast a Pithing Needle.
I have no responses to Pithing Needle.
Okay, I'm going to name Arcbound Ravager. Yeah, I'm going to follow it up with another Ornithopter. Cast a Ginger Brute.
Upkeep. Draw. This will get its Chapter 2 trigger. I will play another Urza Saga as my land for turn.
Yikers. Can I reset my pithing needle?
I'll cast a walking ballista. X is 1. Say go after that.
I'll draw for the turn. Gonna play Ameria Shattered Skyclave. I'm gonna play Untapped. Take 3. I pay 3 life. Cast a Pure Steel Paladin. That for 1 Colossus Hammer. Alright, I'd like to activate Pure Steel Paladin to equip Colossus Hammer onto my Ornithopter.
I will respond to that. And I'm going to channel a Beseiju who endures, targeting the Pithing Needle.
Oh. Okay, yeah. Pithing Needle's destroyed. I get to search my library for... I'll get a Plains.
With the equip ability still on the stack, I'm going to sacrifice my Zabaz to Arcbound Ravager. Go to 2 with the modular ability, and then it will go up to 3. Then going to sack the Ravager. This will go up to 4. Put 2 damage into the Ornithopter that you are targeting, and then I will put 2 damage into the Pure Steel Paladin.
That all happens.
Yep.
Combat.
Yes.
Swing for 1.
Go to 19.
Got him. Go.
Draw. Triggers. This will go to 2. This will go to 3. I believe I will float a mana. I'll just grab a Spring Wave Drum. Just as Zabaz. And then I think I'll just pass the turn there.
Untap, so keeps and draws. I'm gonna pay a white here and activate my Inkmoth Nexus. Move to combat.
Yep.
Swing with Ginger Brute and the Inkmoth. I'd like to activate Ginger Brute to make it so they can't be blocked except by creatures with haste.
Yep. I will declare no blocks.
Then I will go ahead and pass the turn after that.
Alright, let me activate this make a dude and draw this ability on the stack. I will do it again.
More constructs, okay.
Yep, and then search a wise knight. Play my land for turn as an Urza Saga. Let me know if you've seen this one before.
Bro!
I'll go to combat and I'll swing with the non-summoning sick one. It is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 5.
I think I'm just taking that one.
Alright, I will ship it on over to you.
Untap, upkeep, draw. I'm gonna play a Plains, then I will pass the turn.
Draw for turn. After trigger, I will go to combat. Swing 2 5/5s coming at you.
2 big ol' 5/5s. I'll put Ornithopter in front of one of them. It'll die, I'll use 5, go to 7.
I will go ahead and ship it on over to you.
Untap, upkeep, draw. I'll cast an Ornithopter. Yeah, I'm just passing.
End of your turn, I will activate Saga, make a dude, draw for turn, Saga. I will just float the mana this time. The Shadow Spear. We'll then use the colorless and the green. I'll throw the Shadow Spear onto one of the constructs. Go to combats. I'll attack with all 3 constructs. They are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 7s. This one is an 8/8 with trample and lifelink.
Oh, geez, Rick. 8 trample? Oh, good.
Yeah, how does the trample feel on the other side?
I'm going to block each of the non-trample constructs, one with Ginger Brute and one with Ornithopter. Before damage, I'm going to sacrifice Ginger Brute and gain 2 life. 3 life. I'll take 8 going to 2.
Yep.
And
And then I will gain 8, go to 26.
my Ornithopter dies.
And then I'll pass turn.
Go to my turn. Draw. Okay. Well, I keep drawing lands, so it doesn't help. I'm going to concede from here.
Yep. I have a pregame action, however, where I will be putting a Gemstone Caverns into play, exiling a basic forest. This will have its luck counter.
I'm going to kick us off with an Urza Saga.
With the trigger on the stack on the saga, I'm going to go ahead and claim it.
Wow, that's brutal. All right.
Just get it out of here. Put you at 24.
Gain 4 life. And,
Untap. Keep. Draw for turn. Cast and Ancient Stirrings. A Walking Ballista. I'll play my own Urza Saga. It will manage to get its first chapter ability, where it will tap for mana to create a Zabaz. And then Zabaz will enter with a counter, and I'll pass the turn.
I will draw.
Yeah, remember when you thought you had the play?
That was brutal. Okay, I'm gonna play Plains. I'll cast a Springleaf Drum. Cast an Ornithopter.
Ornithopter's good.
I'll follow it up with a Giver of Runes.
Yeah.
That was supposed to be my turn 1 play, but here we go. Alright, I'll pass.
And this will get its second chapter ability. Let's not forget that. I'll play a Timber Crown Pathway, play a Springleaf Drum, and then I will pass the turn.
Alright, I'll untap, upkeep, draw. I'm gonna play an Inkmoth Nexus, my land for turn. Cast an Esper Sentinel. Cast another Springleaf Drum. And I'll give the turn back to you.
End of your turn, I'll activate. Make a dude, draw. This will go to chapter 3 with the ability on the stack. I think I will just float a colorless. Grab a Haywire Might. I'll cast a Dismember, paying 4 life, going to 16, targeting the Giver of Runes.
Yep, Esper Sentinel trigger.
I will pay the 1 for the Esper Sentinel.
Let's see here. I'm going to respond by activating Giver. And I'm going to target my Esper Sentinel. Resolves, and I will give it protection from colorless until end of turn.
That sounds good.
And then this will die.
Pass the turn after that.
Draw. I'm going to cast Sigarda's Aid. Activate my Inkmoth Nexus. Go to combat. Inkmoth coming in.
Tap a Wire Might for green, and then I will activate it, targeting the Sigarda's Aid.
Haywire Might dies, so you're going to gain 2 life.
Yep.
Alright, that happens.
I will tap the Gemstone Caverns for white, and I will activate Zabaz to give it flying. I will block, and then damage.
Alright, yeah, I will go ahead and just pass the turn then.
Tap, keep, draw. I'll play Forest as my land for turn, pass this Walking Ballista for X's 2. I will pass the turn after that. I have 1 in hand.
Draw. I'll play an Inkmoth Nexus. This is where Ballista just starts leveling up every turn and takes over the game.
Pretty much.
I'll cast an Ornithopter.
Yep.
I have no cards in hand and I'll pass.
I'll remove a counter and eat the Esper Sentinel.
Makes sense. Okay.
Draw. Go to combat. I'll swing with my 4/4.
No blocks, I'll take it.
You're good to go.
I'll draw. I cast Pithing Needle.
I'll respond to the Pithing Needle. I'll activate Ballista. Then I'll pass on the needle.
I'll name Walking Ballista.
I am shocked for 1.
Shock Pikachu face. I'll pass the turn.
Draw. I'll play an Agatha's Soul Cauldron. I'll cast a Ballista for X's 1. I will tap my Soul Cauldron, targeting my Haywire Might. Haywire Might is exiled. I will place a +1/+1 counter on this Walking Ballista, and then I will pass the turn from there.
Untap, upkeep, draw. Probably too slow, but here we are. Urza Saga. Get its first counter. Dies to all 3 creatures on board. I'll pass the turn.
Draw for turn. Cast an Arcbound Ravager. I will tap Agatha's Soul Cauldron and exile the Giver of Runes, and place a counter onto this Walking Ballista. I will tap this for green and sacrifice this Walking Ballista and blow up the... Oh, I can't actually do that first. I have to do it with the Construct first, because Walking Ballista has no activated abilities. So I'll sack the Construct with Haywire Might's ability, and I will blow up the Pithing Needle. I will then tap this for green, do it again. This time I'll hit the Urza. Go to combat, and I will swing for 4. Alright, I will pass the turn.
Draw something insane, please, one time! Oh! Almost insane. Pass the turn.
I will play another Timber Crown Pathway. I will activate Soul Cauldron, Grabbing a ballista, placing the counter on this ballista. A haywire bite. Go to combat and swing for 5.
Just have to block or I die. Okay, so I'll block with the Ornithopter.
You got it.
Little Chumpskis.
I'll then pass the turn.
I'll draw. Pass the turn.
I will activate the ballista, putting a counter on it. Draw. I'll cast another Earthbound Ravager. Activate Agatha's, exiling Zabaz. I'll put a counter on this Ravager. Sacrifice Haywire Might to Arcbound Ravager, putting a counter on it. I will gain 2 life when it dies, go to 20. This will gain a counter. I would like to remove 2 counters from this to hit the Ornithopter. Go to combat and swing with these guys.
I'll declare no flux.
I will sacrifice this Arcbound Ravager to this Ravager. This counter will move over here with Modular, make this 7. This will gain a counter going to 2. So that's 7, 8, 9 damage. Alright, and then I will shoot you with the Ballista.
Ow! Alrighty. I'm gonna kick things off of the plains, and I'm gonna cast a Steel Shaper's Gift. Get a Colossus Hammer. Cast an Ornithopter, and I'll pass.
Draw. Play Crag Crown, Timber Crown Pathway. Tap it for a Hardened Scales.
Untap, upkeep, draw. Play an Urza Saga. I'll tap for a white and cast a Sigarda's Aid. And I'll go to combat. Swing with an Ornithopter. 4 damage. Colossus Hammer. ETB equip. Take 10.
Yep. I'll take 10, go to 10.
Alright, go ahead.
Draw. I will also play Urza Saga. I'll cast the Haywire Bite.
No! Alright.
I will pass the turn.
Draw for the turn. Urza Saga will get its counter there. I'll go to combat. Swing.
I will block. Before damage, I will activate Haywire Might. I'll pop the hammer and gain 2.
Alright, I'm gonna play a Plains and then pass.
I will untap, keep, and draw. This will get its second counter. I will play an Urza Saga. This will get its counter. We'll tap this for green. I'll play a Hardened Scales. And I'll cast a Hangerback Walker, X is 1. And then this will enter with 2 additional counters. I will then pass the turn.
Okay, end of your turn, I'm gonna activate Saga. We'll make a construct. Nice Ryan construct token. And we'll draw for the turn. Okay, we're going to have a Saga trigger here. With the trigger on the stack, I'm going to make another construct. Then this will sacrifice. I'm going to get Shadow Spear. Come into play, and Sigarda's Aid will trigger. And I would like to equip it to the non-summoning sick construct that I have.
That makes a lot of sense.
I will equip it here, then move to combat. Swing with this 5/5 lifelink trample.
I will declare no blocks. Take 5, go to 7. You gain 5, go to 25.
Okay, that's what I got. And I'll pass the turn after that.
Alright, I will untap. Heat. And trigger, this will go to 2. This will go to 3. I will hold priority on this. I think I make the construct now. So I'll make a construct and then search. Grab a Zabaz, which will enter with 3 counters. I will go ahead and play an Inkmoth Nexus as my land for turn. Yeah, I'll pass the turn after that.
Draw. I'll cast a Springleaf Drum. Alright, I'm gonna go to combat. I'm swinging in with the Shadow Speared.
I will put both the Construct and Zabaz in front of it.
I will go ahead and order it so that the Construct will take damage first.
So Construct will take 3, and then Zabaz will take 3.
So they both die. I'll gain 6. You don't lose any. And my Construct dies.
And then I have a Zabaz trigger. Modular trigger, I will attempt to move 3 counters onto Hangerback Walker. It will gain an additional 2 from Hardened Scales. It will move 5. So it'll go up to 8.
Alright, I'm going to play a Plains, and then equip Shadow Spear onto this Construct. And then I will pass the turn.
Alright, end of your turn, I will activate Hangerback Walker. It will gain those counters plus 2, go to 11. Draw for turn. Saga trigger. I will float a mana. This will go to 3. Sabaz. Sabaz will enter with 3 counters. Play a very sad Gemstone Caverns. Play the Slith. I'll cast on Walking Ballista X is 1. Enter with 3 counters. And then I think I just pass the turn.
Untap, upkeep, draw. I'll play an Urza Saga. I'll get a counter. I pass.
End of your turn, I will activate the Walker to put it to 14. Keep and draw. I will cycle the Ozolith. Or Ozolith the Shattered Spire. Yeah, I'll just pass.
Draw. Woohoo! Trigger Urza Saga. Springleaf Drum. I pass the turn.
I'll activate, go to 17. Draw for turn. That is something. I'll play a Haywire Might.
That's definitely a something.
Activate Haywire Might, targeting the Urza Saga. And then I have a death trigger. I will pass the turn.
Draw. Donks, pass the turn.
And a turn, make it 2020.
Yeah, how big can we go?
Untap, keep draw. Play Forest. Pass the turn.
Okay, here we go. Draw Mana Crypt. Oh, that was on a Mana Crypt. Yeah, I'll tap for 1. I'll cast a Ginger Brute. Then I will just go ahead and pass the turn.
End of your turn, I'll start putting counters on the Walking Ballista. Draw. I'll play out another Walking Ballista for X is 1. I'll pass the turn.
Play an Inkmoth Nexus and pass.
End of turn, I'll activate my Walker, putting an additional 3 counters on him. Draw. I'll play an Inkmoth Nexus and pass the turn.
I'll draw.
I swear I've run red lands in this deck.
I'll play Plains. We're getting places.
Oh yeah.
We're getting places. Yeah, I'm gonna hardcast this Cauldron complete.
Jesus. Yeah, that's obnoxious.
It's something for sure. It'll come into play and get auto-equipped here. I guess pass. I should have just held that up at instant speed. I don't know what I'm doing.
I'll activate Ballista, put 3 counters on it, it goes to 9. And then I'll activate this, put it to 26. Draw. Let's play Force. I will pass the turn.
Draw. I'm gonna cast a Stoneforge Mystic. I guess my only options are hammers, so I'll get a hammer. It's hammer time. Yeah, I just pass the turn.
End of turn, I'll do the same thing I've done at the end of every turn. Play Pendlehaven. Pass the turn.
Tap up, keep, draw. I have to pass.
Okay, end of your turn, I will activate the Ballista, put 3 counters on it, it goes to 15. I am going to remove 3 counters, going to 12, and hit Zabaz 3 times. Zabaz will die. There's a modular and an Ozolith trigger, so the Ozolith will get 3 counters. I will move 5 counters onto a creature. I will move it onto this. This will go to 17. I will then remove 3 counters here. This will go to 14, and I'll kill this Ballista. This Ballista dies. It will move 3 counters over here, going to 6. Untap, upkeep, draw for turn. Play a land as another Inkmoth Nexus. We'll tap. I will animate Inkmoth Nexus to make it a creature. Pump it to make it a 2/3. I will go to combat, trigger the Ozolith, targeting Inkmoth Nexus.
I'm gonna respond. Hard casting at Solitude.
Yep, so this one will get exiled. I'll gain 2, pass the turn after that.
Keep, draw. I'm gonna animate my Inkmoth Nexus first.
I'll respond and put another 3 counters on this to get a 17.
Combat? Swing with everything.
I will put the giant hangerback walker. I'll put it in front of the that guy. Yeah, I think it's the Cauldron. And then I'll put the Ballista in front of the construct with the Shadow Spear. And those are blocks.
I'd like to move to damage.
Before damage, I would like to remove a counter from Walking Ballista and ping the Ink Moth Nexus. I would like to remove a counter, put a damage on Gingerbrute. Remove a counter, put a damage on Ornithopter.
Yes.
I will do it again. Remove a counter, put a damage on Solitude.
How many counters are left for that?
12.
Okay. Yeah, 1 damage has been dealt.
And then I'll go to 11 and put another there.
Okay.
So that is 7 unblocked damage. Okay. I have no further effects.
I'll flash in a Colossus Hammer. Yeah, it'll target the construct here that's not blocked.
All right, I'll remove 7 counters, putting this to 4 to ping the construct 7 times. And then damage.
Yeah.
Yep.
Damage will happen.
This will die, and Walking Ballista, or Hangerback Walker is exiled specifically. So that exiled, that's dead. I will move all of these counters over to the Ozolith.
I'll pass the turn.
So have to keep draw. Animate Ink Moth Nexus. Go to combat. Trigger the Ozolith. Target Ink Moth. Move 20 and 22. Let's get the additional 2 counters on here. I'll go to combat and swing for 43 infect.